world comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Sorry, I should have said that a little bit sooner. Happy Sunday for a lot of people. Monday for others. I hope you're having a good day. Sundays are kind of my lazy day. Saturdays tend to be my busiest days, so I'm usually kind of tired on Sunday. And yeah. Oh, not much. Not sure what else I can say about Sundays. Today we're going to be talking about no reservations, lurking notions. I'm going to dig a little bit into the big book here. All right. Yeah, my Benz just sold. I had this old Mercedes Benz, and it wasn't really working. So this guy and I kind of worked together. It was my car. He did the work on it, sold it, made a little bit of money, but it's part of the way that I like helping people out. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle says, no reservation. Did you watch Anthony Bourdain 2? No, I did not. I have no idea who that is. It's just today's daily reflection. So it was just a happy coincidence. So I'm actually pretty particular on who I talk to or who I listen to. Like I'll give you an idea. Jordan Peterson, he was somebody I was following for a little while, but guy got a little too big for his britches for me. He started making some statement. He should have just stayed in his arena. He was doing well there. But yeah, Tony Robbins is decent. What are some of the ones that I will not listen to? Gabor Mate. Gabor's just full of shit. He has his own views. He says, you are not an alcoholic. You are not, but it's just a mental illness, and accepting it is one thing. I don't think that my whole definition of Dion is an alcoholic. So, he just wants to peddle his shrooms. Everybody, what I look for is intention. And if there's money tagged to it, if there's go check out my free stuff tagged to it, things like that. I was gonna, he was a chef, alcohol, Vicodin were his friends. That I get. I'm sure he's great. I'm sure he is. There's also a lot of people out there that do it the way that I do, where they really just want to help. They really just want to help. Good morning, Leslie. Leisure, I think Leisure meant to say good morning, Leisure, as in he was here, but it came out good morning, Leslie. So YouTube is now changing our words. We're going to be in the big book today, page 33, but I'm sure I'll go back to page 32 to give us a little idea. These tend to be a little bit longer. I don't know why it worked out so well that way. You're not supposed to actually go more than 10, 12 minutes because people don't really listen to you. It's hard to keep somebody's attention, but for some reason, For some reason, I'm able to go 45 minutes. Oh, so the guy hung himself. Well, it's not a very positive ending. That sucks. Leisure says restaurant industry is filled with alcoholics. Yeah, it is. Yep. Every industry is. There's no industry that isn't full of alcoholics. 1 in 10 people are alcoholic, but we do tend to gear towards certain places. Why is the restaurant industry? Why does it have a lot of alcoholics? Because you're encouraged to drink. Because you're encouraged to drink. You're around the alcohol. You can get to it. The atmosphere, the way people work. But if there was an industry that I would say, besides the sales industry, but the restaurant industry is sales. Yep. So we usually end up, birds of a feather, right? So, all right, let's get started. We're gonna go to page 32 in the big book. Let's do some introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I will be your host forever. I'll probably do this till the day I die. I'll probably be doing this on my deathbed. It's just a part. The Daily Trudge is a part of my life. People have even said, do you want to take a week off from that? I'm like, oh, do you take a week off from breathing? No, I will not be taking a week off. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Let me check to see what my current streak is, because I get streaks from Restream, 81 weeks in a row that I have gone live. I've not missed a day. I've been sick during that time. I've even had, no. I think the last time I really missed a few days was from my gallbladder surgery. Yep. So, all right, let's get going. Top of page 32. Though there is no way of proving it, we believe that early in our drinking careers, most of us could have stopped drinking. But the difficulty is that few alcoholics have enough desire to stop while there is yet time. We have heard of a few instances where people who showed definite signs of alcoholism were able to stop for long periods because of an overpowering desire to do so. Here is one. Before we get to that, the first time I got sober, said that I seriously decided to get sober, I was 18 years old and I was living on Skid Row, and I went through a place called the Phoenix Concept. Now, being on Skid Row, I was clearly, okay, getting off the hooch, no problem. Letting go of the alcohol, no problem at all. Just like they said there, it was not hard. I did not detox from it. I didn't go through the shakes. I bounded back pretty quick. I was 18. Now at 45, after I got 12 years of sobriety, went back out because of my failure to continue to follow through, like going to a meeting every day, having a sponsor, or at least having closed mouth friends. All right. I stepped away from the program. I stepped away from the sunlight of the spirit, and it didn't take long before Dion reverted back to who he was. Good morning, Heather. It's good to see you. She says, good new day. Yeah, it is a good new day. Another day at life, another day at sobriety. Now, I went out for 15 years and came back at 45, and it would take me a few years. It was horrible. And it is one of the reasons why I do what it is that I do. See, going through the last 10, 15 years of hell is not a requirement, and you don't have to do it. You don't. So I want you to learn from my example. Okay. I'm proud of anybody that walks in the program. Leisure said menthol blends help me get off the booze. It's a joke. I don't know what he means by it. I'm presuming cigarettes, menthol cigarettes. Smoking a pine tree. All right. So now they're about to give an example. So let's go ahead and read this. A man of 30 was doing a great deal of spree drinking. He was very nervous in the morning after these bouts and quieted himself with more liquor. 30, and he's already having to quiet his nerves with liquor. He was ambitious to succeed in business, but he saw that he'd get nowhere if he drank at all. Once he started, he had no control whatever. He made up his mind that until he had been successful in business and had retired, he would not touch another drop. Okay. This is what we would call a lurking notion. This would be a lurking notion. See, there's a requirement here. All right. An exceptional man. He remained bone dry for 25 years and retired at the age of 55. Okay, 55. It's a little bit older. People in their 50s and 60s to hear from people, oh, you're not old. Well, wait till you get there. Okay. And then you can decide whether that's old or not. It is. All right. Oh, you're not that old. Well, yeah, I am. Then he fell victim to the belief that practically every alcoholic has that his long period of sobriety and self-discipline had qualified him to drink like other men. That actually makes sense to me. That does. It makes sense to me. My brain works that way, but it's not true. Out came his carpet slippers and a bottle in 2 months. In 2 months, he was in a hospital, puzzled and humiliated. He tried to regulate his drinking for a while, making several trips to the hospital meantime. Then, gathering all his forces, he attempted to stop altogether and found he could not. Every means of solving his problem, which money could buy, was at his disposal. Every attempt failed. Though a robust man to retirement, he went to pieces quickly and was dead within 4 years. Hey, hold on. Got a distracted cat here. Hey, what are you doing? You're making it sound like you're going to take a dump in that box or something, dude. So, what is the lesson that we're learning here? And they're going to go into one part of it, that this is a progressive disease. Alcoholism is a progressive disease, and you do not need alcohol in your body for it to progress. That's what happened. That's what happened to him. He was still an alcoholic. That didn't change. Alcohol was alcohol was the solution. His brain was the problem. I bet he was a dick for 25 years. I bet nobody wanted to be around him. They don't say anything about friends and family. They just say he was a successful businessman, an exceptional one. Where's his family? Where's his wife? Where's his kids and all this? See, you probably driven them all off by that time. Yeah. The thing is when it comes to alcoholism, it isn't the alcohol, it's the other part. And if you do nothing about it, your alcoholism will progress. All right, dude, that's enough. Out. Go find something else to do. Go bug your mother or something. All right. Shut that door. Oh, kitty cat problems, right? So it wasn't the alcohol, it was his brain. He was still thinking the same way. Did he become an exceptional businessman by ripping people off by doing things? I bet he did. Right. So we got to keep in mind that once we're off the hooch, we got to do something about it. We've got to follow through on something, a program, right? Leisure says living dry is a horrible way to live. It is. It is. It sucks. And eventually you will go out and drink again, doing it dry. What do we mean by a dry drunk? It means you don't want to work the steps, but you stay sober. All right. I'll give you the key. It's anger. It's anger. That's the number one emotion you will see amongst a dry drunk, because not only are you not listening to him, he's never getting what he wants, including alcohol, and that'll frustrate anybody. Right? This case contains a powerful lesson. Most of us believe that if we remain sober for a long stretch, we could thereafter drink normally. But here's a man who, at 55 years, found he was just where he had left off at 30. The other thing about alcohol is your tolerance for alcohol will not, it doesn't go down. So if you quit drinking, let's say you were drinking a 12 pack and you quit drinking. Okay. So if you quit drinking for 5 years, you know how much you're going to start with? Probably a 12 pack. Your tolerance for alcohol never goes down. It doesn't work that way. If it does, you're in serious trouble. It means your liver's going. And that's a very, very bad sign. That means jaundice is coming. A lot of times you'll see people coming to the program, their eyes will be yellow. Mine were. Mine were yellow when I got here. Right. We have seen the truth demonstrated again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. We're in short time as bad as ever. If we were planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, nor lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. No reservations. Does that mean? It means that we need to be part of the no matter what club. What is a lurking notion? That would mean, that you decided that you could drink if your daughter is getting married. There's a qualification. In this case, he decided 25, that until he was successful in business, he could not touch another drop. That is a lurking notion. That you make a qualification. Okay. You cannot use alcohol as a reward for something that you've done anymore. Those days are gone. Can't do it anymore. We've got to find a different reward. And I found that really the only sufficient substitute for rewards for us is helping other people by giving away freely what is given to us. Okay? You'll see a lot of people even fake it right now with other ways. Well, I'll tell you what the biggest other way is: having a positive attitude. And it's called toxic positivity. Positivity is an emotion. It is not a solution. And at any point, having a good attitude towards a problem certainly helps with it, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But it is a process. It is not a solution. It cannot be a solution. If you want it to be, then you're going to have to follow through with something like, thank you, God. Thank you for giving me that red light. Thank you for the troubles that you are giving me. Now we're getting somewhere with it. Now we're doing something with it. Yeah. Young people may be encouraged by this man's experience to think they could stop as he did on their own willpower. Now, when I was 17, I had support, or when I was 18 and I got sober, I had support. I had support. Right. So if you think you can do it yourself, you might be able to quit it. The thing is, there was dry February, and then gosh, it got awfully quiet in March, didn't it? Notice how small the meetings got after St. Patrick's Day? Like half the people are gone. That's what I noticed. Meetings that were going to with 50 people on it, like 20, 25 people. It'll grow back up again. A lot of those people will come back. See, they went out during they had a lurking notion. Oh, well, it's St. Patrick's Day. Everyone's Irish. Here come the excuse. St. Patrick's Day is the easiest excuse to drink at any given time. Doesn't matter. Suddenly you're Irish. All right. We doubt if many of them can do it because none will really want to, and hardly one of them, because of the peculiar mental twists already acquired, will find they can win out. Without support, it takes a tribe to get someone and keep someone sober. It does. Now, and we say God is the one that gets us sober, removes the obsession. That's true, but he does it through his children. He hasn't come down with a magic wand or anything, and it's all woo, angelic and shit. Maybe for some people. I know that wasn't my experience. All right. Actually, you're right. Lurking Notion might be the name of my new band. Let me know if you need a drummer. Oh, I keep a good 4 beat. I'm not a drummer in the sense that if you think that you can tell me how to play something and I can play it, nah, that ain't gonna happen. I play by mood. In fact, I hate it when people tell me how to drum. I don't tell you how to play your guitar. I don't play you how to play your bongos or sing. Stay away from the drumming just because you wanted it. That I'm a mood drummer, and I can sit down with a band and we can practice it a million times and all sound the same. But if the feeling changes when we get on stage, so's the drumming. I drum to the feelings in the audience. It's an empathy thing. Anyway, and I haven't practiced enough that I can do all that other stuff. Several of our crowd, men 30 or less, have been drinking only a few years, but they found themselves as helpless as those who have been drinking for 20 years. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time, nor take the quantities some of us have. This is particularly true of women. Alcohol takes women a lot faster. It does. That is very much a clinical statistic. Good morning, Julia. It's good to see you. Something's going on with my eye right there. I have I have so many aches and pains right now, so don't tell me that I'm not old. All right. All right. This particular potential female alcoholics often turn into the real thing and are gone beyond recall in a few years. Certain drinkers who would be greatly insulted if called alcoholics are astonished at their inability to stop. We who are familiar with the symptoms see large number of potential alcoholics among young people everywhere, but try and get them to see it. That's kind of changed. That's kind of changed. A lot of people realize there's a lot of younger people coming into the program right now. And in fact, with the grassroots meeting, I'm trying to work it so that it's geared towards the younger people. They're the next people that are going to be planting trees for other people to sit in the shade. See, that's what I've been doing. I've been planting trees, of which I will never sit in the shade because I got to sit in the shade of the people that planted the trees before me. Yeah. See, this program is about meeting people where they're at, not expecting people to meet you where you are. That's not how it works. Even with sponsoring, that's how it's supposed to work. Uh, and I'll keep repeating it. Nowhere in the big book does it state rest on your laurels and wait for somebody to ask you to sponsor them. But there are clear-cut directions on how to find sponsees, on how to go out and find these people that are hurting. Okay. And using the excuse, well, that stuff isn't there anymore. Using that excuse isn't, you know, I had a pretty good when it came to getting my alcohol. Gosh, I had a great imagination on how to get it, didn't I? Well, I can certainly use that same. I can use those same faculties to find the people that need my help, and they're everywhere. As we look back, we feel we had gone on drinking many years beyond the point where we could quit on our own willpower. If anyone questions whether he has entered this dangerous area, let him try leaving liquor alone for 1 year. Ooh. If you tell an alcoholic 1 year, you get an overwhelming response, usually negative, then you pretty much know. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do well. How about a month? No, 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 no. A week? Maybe. See, we're already that's alcoholic thinking. You know what else is alcoholic thinking? That non-alcoholics have 2 or 3 drinks. No, they don't. They do not. They have 1 or less. I'm not saying sometimes people don't go overboard or maybe have a little bit, but when a non-alcoholic is regulating their drinking, it might be none, and that doesn't bother them. In the early days of our drinking, we occasionally remained sober for a year or more, becoming serious drinkers later. Though you may be able to stop for a considerable period, you may yet be a potential alcoholic. We think few to whom this book will appeal can stay dry anything like a year. Some will be drunk the day after making their resolutions, most within a few weeks. And that's true. It's true. I've seen it happen time and time and time again. Right? The hard part that I'm trying to get through people right now is I have one person and they're just I just heard them speaking and they were saying yeah and I'm finishing my level 2 classes, I'm doing this and my therapist is going great. I had fun at March Madness this week. He's working on his 4-step and not one mention of the 4-step means he hasn't been working on it because it didn't pop in his mind. If he had been working on his 4-step, it'd be the number one thing in his mind. Leisure says, what kind of silly drinking is one drink? Exactly. Here's a pretty, you know, God, I did not segue that very good. Hey, if you start to drink and can't stop, there's kind of your answer. If you take one drink and you're craving another, you probably got your answer. For those who are unable to drink moderately, the question is how to stop altogether. Yeah, I could not drink moderately. I don't know how. Once I start drinking, it's all over with. I have no more choice. Okay? I'm at a point in my sobriety or in my recovery where I do have a choice. Every morning I wake up, I have a choice. I can go to the liquor store or I can pray. I don't even think about the liquor store. And it has power. There is power in making the decision to not drink. Do I have any willpower over that? No, I have a different solution that I can utilize today. And it is the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. It is the people in the program. We are assuming, of course, that the reader desires to stop. Whether such a person can quit upon a non-spiritual basis depends upon the extent to which he has already lost the power to choose whether he will drink or not. Many of us felt that we had plenty of character. There was a tremendous urge to cease forever, yet we found it impossible. This is the baffling feature of alcoholism as we know it. This utter inability to leave it alone, no matter how great the necessity or the wish. Yeah. Leisure says, I thought I drank correctly and no one else did. Yeah, that's part of the denial of alcoholism. We think that our life is the only normal one. It's because we can't see the other ones. Too fogged out. All right, let's read what Let's read today's daily reflection. And no more reservations. These words are underlined in my book. They are true for men and women alcoholics. On many occasions, I've turned to this page and reflected on this passage. I need never fool myself by recalling my sometimes differing drinking patterns or believing I am cured. I like to think that if sobriety is God's gift to me, then my sober life is my gift to God. I hope God is happy with his gift as I am with mine. Great way to end it. Yeah. That even my gift of sobriety is a gift to God, even though it was a gift from him. My life of sobriety. Now I get to go out and show his omnipotence. I get to be a good example. I get to help his children I get to create harmony instead of confusion. That's pretty cool stuff, man. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for this one. I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.